Hello and welcome to ICG Podcast episode 13. I'm Abdul and joining me is Yesvanth.
Hey all, how's it going? Hope you had a great weekend and thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today. And this week has not been very high on news, if I should say so myself. I had quite a hard time trying to get some news for today. And well, hopefully it'll be uh, enough, I suppose. Right then, we'll start off by saying the new titles that will be coming to Xbox Game Pass. So the first one is Vemba, which is Indian cooking game. Looked very nice from the trailers. Then there is Celeste. Then coming up is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Sea of Stars, A Short Hike, Broforce Forever, Limbo, Airborne Kingdom, and Everspace 2. So these are the games you can pretty much expect for this month. Because next month the biggest thing that will be releasing is Starfield. Yeah,
Yeah, out of these games, I know I played one game completely, 100% is Limbo.
Limbo. Yes, I thought so.
It's an awesome game. Everybody should play this game if you get time. I think if you just there is one trophy where you basically have to complete the entire run with in less than an hour without getting. If you die without dying, so basically it takes only 40-50 minutes, I suppose, if you don't stop. So it's a very small game, but an absolutely amazing game. Very simple game, but it has its own physics component. So give it a try. It's absolutely worth your time.
Yeah, Yashwant, the pro gamer, getting 100%, doing a complete run without dying.
Yeah, it took 15 tries. So yeah, it was not easy.
Yeah, and before I continue, I want to say hello to Sanjay. Thank you for joining us.
Hey Sanjay, thank you.
Yeah, well, other big news is apparently a new PlayStation 5 system software beta update has been rolled out earlier this week to, uh, of course, the beta testers. And it's times like these where I wish Sony would send me some mails. But yeah, we are not close enough to send each other mails. So yeah, anyway, so with this update, they introduced a couple of new accessibility features, audio options that allow 3D powered audio by this the PlayStation's Tempest 3D audio tech to be enjoyed on compatible Dolby Atmos enabled HDMI devices such as soundbars, your TV, your home theater systems. So
So basically, every 3D supported game will also support Dolby Atmos, right?
Dolby Atmos, yes, as long as your devices support Dolby Atmos, yes, it will support it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So I'm looking at Returnal to be quite an experience. And you see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good because when we got the update for Tempest Audio to be supported on every single headset we use, that itself was a great update. But now we're getting Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy any of those stuff anyway. So, but for those who do,
But the immersion, I think it's going to be absolute crazy.
yeah,
But basically, the 3D audio, you don't need any headset will support because it's not headset dependent. It's supported by the console itself, right? So you don't need a specific headset to enjoy 3D audio. And for every game that supports 3D audio, will support Dolby Atmos. So if your speakers do support that and the game supports 3D audio, you're basically getting the best out of the audio the game or the device can offer.
yeah. I mean, in the sense that in the start, only the Pulse 3D actually gave you this Sony's own Tempest 3D audio, and with a later update, they allowed it to be available on all the headphones. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
nowadays every headphone supports 3D audio, but this Tempest 3D audio by PlayStation I got support later on. So that's a plus. And now Dolby Atmos is there. So time for me to save up and see if I can buy any device that has Dolby Atmos support. And as of right now, I don't think I'll be able to buy any of that because I just spent all my savings buying games these past 2 weeks. So
What did you buy?
nothing new. I mean, I'm not a guy who immediately buys new games. I wait for either a very big discount or if it's
Yeah.
cheap enough. So I don't know. I think I bought a total of 6 games this year on
Oh,
play
nice.
on PlayStation, not on Xbox, on PlayStation. Because I like to keep a physical collection, man. It just feels good to see those discs over there.
Absolutely.
So I don't know why recently I've been in a JRPG craze. For those of you who don't know, JRPGs, Japanese role-playing game. Examples could be like Final Fantasy and that sort. So what all did I buy? I bought the only JRPG I didn't buy was Diablo 4. That was the only new game I bought apparently to go up with friends. So there's that. Then I bought Near
So you
Replic.
bought Diablo 4 on PlayStation?
Yeah, I did, and I completed the campaign. So
Awesome.
I spent 2 weeks just coming online playing 3 to 4 hours per day. Completed the campaign with my friends. Yeah, I have as of now I have 100 hours put into the game,
Awesome.
and that is why I got burnt out, and that is why I decided to skip to other games. So the JRPGs I bought is Near Replicant version 1.22474487139 dot dot dot. I memorized that number. It's the square root of
Oh man.
1.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Because Square Enix was very, how do you say, very
Subtle,
not settled. I mean, they wanted to be very specific that
cheeky.
this game is not a remake or a remaster because the original game came out in 2010 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Came
Right.
out in two versions. One is Near Replicant and one is Near Gesalt. And Near Gesalt is the American one. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know, strange reason they gave that time. It was because apparently American audiences do not appreciate a story where a young boy is the protagonist of a story. So instead of the usual brother sister story that they had for the Japanese one, they had a father daughter one instead. So they had a very masculine, very battle hardened father protecting his daughter kind of story. So
Mm.
when they made this remake, they found out that having a father character did not help the sales in US. So they just like, you know what, let them all just get used to the kids. So Near Replicant, and they wanted this to be. They thought that just naming it Near Replicant 1.5 would seem boring. So some genius over there decided, why don't we put the square root of 1.5 in the title name? And that is how we get Near Replicant version 1.224748739 dot dot dot. Oh
Oh
boy,
my God.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
clever.
and you must know I must have played that game quite a lot in order to memorize the number. So yeah, yeah,
Obviously, yeah, we can see that.
yeah. And I put in I think 36 to 38 hours into the game, and
Oh.
I only completed one ending. There are 5 endings apparently, so sometime soon. Anyways, after that I bought Near Automata Game of the Year edition, which is a sequel. And I thought
Ah,
both of these games are cult classics, so I wanted to check it out. I like the gameplays. So it's like, okay, let's try it out. So then after that, what did I buy? I bought Scarlet Nexus. Some of the people asked me why did I bother buying it because it's on PS Plus Extra. But I told that game is pretty cool and it will be something worth keeping in a collection for the long run. Because anyways, it's not going to be permanently on PlayStation Plus, so might as well
yeah.
have the disc and be worry free. Then the next game I bought was something I wanted to buy 2 years ago, but it was very expensive. Now the price was decent, so I bought it, and that is Tales of Arise. And
Hmm.
yeah, so 4 JRPGs in less than 2 weeks, I guess. So I bought all these games, and I thought I should stop. spending any more money. Then the good people of our server came and told us that apparently there's a game called Tales of Vesperia, and that is the best game amongst the Tales series. And it's very hard to find because it was came out for the PS4, and all the collectors and fans of the series have basically bought every single copy of the game.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I was very skeptic of that, so I went and checked it on Amazon, and it was available for 2,500 rupees. And I thought, okay, maybe I should wait. And then I waited, and I found out that I could get the disc for 2,100 rupees. So not 1,000, 2,200. Yeah, 2,200. So I couldn't contain myself. I ordered that as well. So now I've created my own backlog, uh, which I shall slowly cross over. Yes, because but maybe after another week, because next week I'm planning on, as per Yashwant's suggestion, start streaming games. So I have a list of indie games that I want to stream from the Xbox. So next week I'll be occupied doing that. So yeah, I'll have to put these other games on hold. But yeah, it'll be fun. And someday in the future, you guys will get to see me and Yashwant play Dark Souls.
Oh,
Dark Souls,
absolutely. Yeah.
specifically Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls
And
3. No.
and Yashwant being the pro in the game, he has already completed it. And me being the newbie, he has to guide me along. Yeah,
I'm not a pro man. I went through the guide, but I don't know most of the. I still remember most of the locations because I went through extensively. I wanted to collect everything, every collectible possible. So I think I yeah. I mean, in that sense, I know every location, but basically, I'm still new to, I would say, Souls game, but new but comfortable, I would say.
yeah. I mean, we did have a trial run together, and it was fun.
Uh,
And I ha-
Absolutely.
and me, I'm playing Dark Souls 3 after coming from Elden Ring. So what I thought was the
Uh,
multiplayer will be very simplistic. I can just go directly to his world and play with him. But apparently, that's not the mechanic with Dark Souls 3. If you've defeated a boss, you cannot go. You cannot have someone come into your area again in that particular place. So what had to happen was that Yashwant has to now join my game and play with me. So yeah, he's going to be the OP guy. I'm going to be the newbie, and he's the one who's going to have to take me everywhere and save me from monstrous crabs in poisonous swamps.
crabs. Swamps, yes, swamps and crabs.
Yes,
Souls, what do you say?
exactly. Yeah,
Trademark
yes.
locations, yeah.
It's a me. It's not a Souls game unless Miyazaki adds a poisonous swamp in the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I look forward to that. That's something we'll be doing. Anyways, coming back to our topic, which is the PlayStation 5 software beta update. And apart from Dolby Atmos, now the beta includes more options to quickly find games in your library. So those of you who had a massive library of games and have to scroll through or try to sort and everything, now there's a search bar where you can just directly type the game name and find it yourself. And apparently, there are new ways to connect with other players and to customize your multiplayer sessions. And the other big point of this update is that there is now a support for larger SSDs up to 8
Yeah.
terabytes. Yeah, so I think you can completely forget about deleting games from now on, as long as it's not a couple of Call of Duty games.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean 300 GB for a game, man. Come on.
Come on, yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
mean, the other one I think is pretty cool is use a second controller for assistance.
yeah,
I
I
think
was going to.
that's pretty cool. Where you can have two controllers working as a one controller.
Mhm.
So basically, you can guide your friends or your uh, brother,
Siblings,
sister, siblings. Yes, exactly.
nephews, nieces. Yeah.
Yeah, or else your kids or your parents if you're just some fun game. But
Yeah.
basically, yes, you can have two controllers work as a single controller, guide them through some parts of the section of the game. So basically, I think this is really good. They thought of this situation and It's pretty good to see that.
Yeah, now I can, whenever my nephew plays, I can just open another controller and open up the menus or settings or whatever for him and let him play. But sad fact of life, he does not prefer to play at my room. He just takes away the PlayStation and plays on the hall. So
Ah. He
no,
wants a bigger screen.
actually no, he just doesn't like to sit in my room and play because it's congested. So hall
Oh.
is very spacious. So he likes to sit there and play. So yeah, I don't think I'll be helping anyone with a second controller myself. But yeah, but this feature does bring to my just makes me remember one game. If you guys haven't tried, then definitely try out a game called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It's a small
Mhm.
indie game. It's easily completable within, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 hours at a stretch if you just do it. It's actually where you have to control two brothers, like an older brother, younger brother, to do tasks, and it can all be done with a single controller. I played it back when it came on PC with my brother, and because the keyboard is big enough, we were both able to, share the role of the bigger brother and the younger brother, and it was fun. So when it came on PS Plus Extra, I was excited. I downloaded it, and to my disappointment, I could not play it together with my brother because it could only support one controller. So I think this new feature will really help out. So we both can
Exactly.
we both can turn on the controller. I control one brother, he controls another brother. We can have fun again. So yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah.
yeah, this is definitely worth it then, right? So uh, when this news came out about people, when PlayStation is supporting storage up to 8 terabytes, I had a
Mhm.
few people come and comment on the server like, why do they have to put this news exactly as I ordered a 4 terabyte just now? I'm like, and I'm like,
uh,
well, for starters, you're a very rich guy if you ordered 4 terabytes in the first place, and I'm pretty sure getting 8 terabytes is nowhere in the horizon.
Not a
So
stretch for you. Yeah.
not a stretch for him, but it's nowhere in the horizon. I mean, getting 2 terabytes itself is somewhat of a big thing now. But
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I mean, down the line the prices will decrease, but we'll see. Anyway,
Yep.
so looks like Sony must have been like, I think not many games are making use of our haptics, so we'll just make our PlayStation UI use more of our haptics. So now the system UI has haptic feedback. You can turn on that option. So when you navigate your PS5 with your DualSense controller, or if you're a rich guy, a DualSense Edge controller, or even more rich guy, your PSVR2 controller. And when it is enabled, the system sound effects will also be reflected through the haptics. Like when you scroll down a list and reach the end of the list, you might get a vibration along with a sound or something. And if you like press on a tick box, you might get a click on your controller. When you receive a notification and or if you boot up a game, this sort of feature might not seem big for other people, but this thing is particularly useful for people who have some sort of disability level regarding sight or hearing. So, say for example, if it's a guy who cannot hear properly, then these vibrations can make him know, okay, I confirm this, okay, I got a notification, okay, I properly started a game. And of course, it can also help out people with sound if they can't properly hear it. They can get a confirmation that they got it because of the vibrations.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so accessibility options are always a welcome change. More gamers, and especially for disabled gamers, it's a very big thing. The next big update is the party UI update. And before and all, you can either open, like, I mean, you can start an open party or a closed party, which you can keep private. But now you can add people even to a closed party without having to create a new group. Also,
Mm.
players can now send invites to entire groups of friends instead of just one person at a time. So,
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. So, if you bought a new game, you want to show it to your friends, the gameplay or something, and they have a separate group instead of going selecting one by one, you can just be like, select this group, bring them all over here, watch the game. Yeah. And I think Sony is sort of taking the play from these instant messaging apps. by because now you can add reactions to the messages with emojis directly. So yeah, this is just like WhatsApp or Instagram where you just hold a message and click on the thumbs up, the heart, or the smiley face.
Any other chat button? Sorry,
Yeah,
chat options. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Yeah, so and if all of these features did not seem that interesting to you, I mean, majority it might not be, but the thing that most people were hyped about and were actually praising is the fact that you can now mute the PS5 beep sound. So you can completely turn off the sound when you turn on the PS5. This is
Oh man. Yeah, I think it's basically to have a discrete feeling, I suppose, before when you turn on your PS5, you get this big beep sound. Now I think you don't get that. Basically, you don't know if you don't have to wake your parents up, I suppose. Like, hit switched on the PlayStation 5.
I mean, there are two kinds of party people. Like one is like, that sound is not much. I can't hear it over this thing. Can't hear it
Yeah.
over the fan. I can't hear it over the noise in the house, and it's not very loud. So what's the big deal? And then there's other people like my family members can sleep through a hurricane, but whenever they hear the PS5 beep sound, they immediately wake up. And
That
I'm
is so
like,
true.
yeah. So when I heard of this notification, my thoughts immediately just thought of uh, uh, kids, teenagers who have a PlayStation 5 and who can't sleep and want to play in the middle of the night. They can now play without waking up their parents. And this is also especially helpful for, I guess, married couples because now the husband or wife, in some particular cases, can in the middle of the night go and silently turn on the PS and enjoy their time without waking up the wife or husband. So yeah, it's no wonder this feature is getting a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, I guess looks like the PS5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looks like the PS5 beep sound has woken up too many people in order to get this much of a positive feedback. All right.
Agree.
So Yashwant, what have you got?
Nothing much. I think basically I'll just talk about the Baldur's Gate 3
Ah,
success. Oh man, I've been seeing everything great about this game. It's basically the most, what you say, successful game launch, I suppose, in recent days. That completely, absolutely deserves the praise it's getting from every single critic or just a gamer or even an average gamer or even a newcomer from the
mm,
to the franchise. It's they feel it's crazy enough and it's very well executed and barely encounter any bugs. I don't think I've seen any reports of bugs, but yeah, I think it all comes down to the 3 years of the time they had to polish the game, the early access they gave. And it's basically it doesn't have any in-game purchases, no de novo lockers. It's considered basically de novo is causing significant lower performance for the game, but I don't know if it has been completely proven. Yeah, no de novo, no in-game purchase, and over 2.5 million units sold before launch. So that's crazy. And it did hit 700,000 plus concurrent players on Steam. So basically it's in ninth position right now on Steam.
wow.
Um, and I've heard the developer, one of the developers, I think. I don't know, from the publishers, they basically came out and say they expected 100,000 concurrent players, but reaching 700,000 concurrent players is basically very well done. So
Yeah,
it's good to see that it's not a live service game. It doesn't have any in-game purchase, no microtransactions either. It's basically a perfect game with passion and heart put into it. So this does
mm,
prove that you don't need to have cheeky things or stupid crazy things that gamers are not asking for. You just keep your heart, follow the basic principles, I suppose, of gaming. And yeah, basically that's it. you have a absolutely amazing game.
Yeah, so I think, like Yashan said, don't put the crazy things that gamers don't ask for, but put the crazy things that the gamers do ask for. Yeah,
Yep.
romance options. Yes, yes. Yeah, but as far as Denuvo is concerned, it's something that people who sail the high seas are not very fond of. So having no Denuvo is a win for them, I guess. But uh, I don't sail the high seas, so I don't care. And anyways, the thing is, some people were very, hesitant regarding the price, but you get an insane amount of value and hours of content for the price.
Exactly.
I mean, Diablo 4 itself, I think I got it for, I think, 5.6 thousand something. And I got 100 hours of gameplay within 2 weeks. So it is definitely worth the money. So this thing is even more ambitious, more large scale. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth the price if you want to buy it. I mean, PC players are now enjoying it. And this is, I think, one of those times where console players feel kind of left out because it was quite evident on PlayStation because after the launch of Baldur's Gate 3, the pre-orders for Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation has come to the second place spot on the PS Store. So yeah,
Yeah.
the hype is real. The hype is real.
The
I
hype
mean,
is real.
getting 500 plus thousand concurrent players within the first 3 days itself is huge, mainly huge. I mean, in the start, I think only Hogwarts Legacy thought sort of overtook it in terms of I think Twitch streams, but yeah, now this game is huge. So bye bye Hogwarts Legacy because Baldur's Gate is now leaving its own legacy. So yeah,
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you say to the players who didn't play or doesn't even know what is Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 or the franchise itself? Do you think they can justify themselves starting with Baldur's Gate 3? Or do you think at least they should know about what is 1 and 2? Does it is it a sequel to 1 and 2 or it's its own story or what is this? What do you
Well,
say to the new players?
well, numbers are mostly put for sequels, but I mean I'm not an expert in that game because I think I've heard about Baldur's Gate before, but with this hype only I'm hearing more about it. But I think 3 is very approachable for new players. You can just jump right in. I mean, if you played 1 and 2, there might be a few callbacks here and there which might notice and be like, huh, this was in the first game, this was in the second game. But
Yeah.
but I don't think many new players are going to miss out because I'm sure that uh, at least 25, maybe even 50 percentage, who knows, maybe even 75 percentage of the players who are playing it are new players or just getting
Yeah.
into the franchise. So they
Yeah.
don't really have to worry because as far as I know, this is the first time they're making the game in third person. So a whole new revamp of everything, overhaul, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think new players don't have to worry about going through the first or second game. They can dive right in, enjoy the game, and of course, if you feel like you've missed out something, there's always YouTube videos to watch. Save yourself a
The
few hours.
gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, save yourself a few hours and just watch the cutscenes or lore videos on YouTube. There are plenty of them. And before Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios' most popular game was Divinity Original Sin 2. That is quite popular, and believe it or not, well, I think it's believable now at this point. Baldur's Gate 3's current player count is nearly 7 times the amount of the players who played Divinity Original Sin 2 at its peak. So, no surprises there, I
Ah,
guess. Yes, I
it
mean,
deserves, man. Yeah, I think all of these accomplishments by Baldur's Gate 3, they completely deserves the way they took the early access and the way they polished it over the 3 years. They didn't rush it. Basically, like most of the games right now on PC, they're just rushing it. But yeah,
mm,
I think this is just an absolutely perfect example to the other publishers and studios. Like if you
mm,
just follow basic principles, you're going to receive huge success.
Exactly. I mean, well, the PlayStation 5 version is, I think, available will be available on September 6th.
Yeah.
No news regarding the Xbox version, which will come, but the studio says it will be coming, but a couple of months later because they have to make sure that it performs smoothly on both the Series X and S.
Yeah, they
So,
have set themselves a high bar, right? Now they can't just release a half-assed port or version for the PlayStation and Xbox.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, they feel like the Series X, sorry, S, Series S has a lot of features which they need to put in, but the limitations are constricting them to certain
Yeah,
aspects.
I heard many of the publishers and developers also come out and say that Series S is what's causing them to hold back for the Xbox release. Whatever game it is, it's taking them time to optimize it for that, and that's the reason for Xbox it takes more time because they have to release at the same time. If it's releasing on X, it should release on S, I suppose, right, these days.
Yeah,
So yeah, to maintain that consistency, they're taking more time to make sure it's smooth over S and X as well.
yeah, and I mean, we can't exactly blame just one console for this entire mishap. No, it just feels unfair. But yeah, that's what the developers say. They have, because of the constraints, they had to remove the uh, couch co-op, I guess, two-player co-op. Yeah, they had to remove that feature and something else. But yeah, they're working on trying to implement it into the game, make it better. And I mean, it's kind of
What do you mean? The couch co-op will not be present in PlayStation as well?
no, no, no. PlayStation has no issues. I mean, as anyone has any issues with PlayStation this entire generation? I mean, PlayStation version is coming out September 6th. They're waiting
Right.
for the Xbox version because they have to get it ready on the Series S. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, sometimes I don't understand the criticism behind it because, I mean, it's less powerful than a Series X, that's a given, but you can say that pretty much like having a diversity in hardware is sort of good in an extent because that helps keep the price down. And for people who are just getting a console, I mean, a CSS is a no-brainer to many people. So, especially in third world countries, which apparently, according to developers, even India is a part of a third world country. So, yeah, what I'm saying, I mean, Microsoft wants more market share in places, and having a cheaper console that more people can buy can get people into their ecosystem, make them long-term fans, whatever. And
Yeah.
developers just keep saying, memory constraints, this thing is too, it's too weak, this and that. But then again, when you look at PC, how much different specifications are there? People don't always have the most high-end chip for
Latest and
games.
greatest. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, there are still people out there on Steam who are still using like the old GTX 1060.
1060.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing I get in my mind as well. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's the
It was a very sweet spot, right? You can get 1080p 60 FPS, I suppose, when GTX 1060 was released, and
uh-huh,
at that time, it just hit the right sweet spot for many of the gamers.
uh-huh.
1080p 60 frame per second was an absolute solid for most of the gamers.
Yeah, and now console owners are like, oh no, this game does not have 60 FPS. I'm not buying that. I mean, come on, man. Where the hell are you going to get a graphic card or even a PC that can run games at 4K consistently for around 50 to 60K? Not possible.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can say some laptops are cheap. You can get it for that, but then laptops are not exactly meant for gaming, are they? Even gaming laptops are a gimmick. So I don't know. I mean, put your expectations low because you get what you pay for, and of course, I mean, it's kind of wrong to just put an 8K sticker on the box of a console. But
Yeah.
it's all part of marketing. It's all part of marketing. You can't do anything. I mean, those of us who know should, be who are knowledgeable about it should be like, okay, this thing can't do it. Fine, we just enjoy what you have. But like, no, they said 8K. We should definitely get 4K, 60, and everything. Nah. Well, we can't help it.
I mean, I think if we talk about this, we'll take an entire session for us to keep talking about the restrictions that come with the every game, every console. Yeah, it's basically part of the strategy. If they bring out latest and greatest, there won't be any reason to upgrade, right?
uh,
That's what they do. They basically it's an incremental. That's their business, and yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, you're getting what your money. Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm getting more than my money's worth with both my PlayStation and Xbox. So, I mean, I actually spent 2 weeks buying games because I want to play them. And one of them is a PS4 game that's capped out at 30 FPS. I don't care. I want to enjoy the game. So,
True.
yeah. Anyways, moving on. Apparently, Respawn is working on both a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Oh boy. Yeah, as if people already on the PlayStation 5 and Series X and S aren't complaining enough. They have to make a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some memes on Twitter, I think, where they're like, put Star Wars Jedi Survivor PS4 Xbox One version with the cover art and everything, and below they put a screenshot of Contra. So,
Oh boy, that's really cool. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with the amount of performance issues and frame drops it had on the consoles like PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, I mean, this meme was funny to see. It's like Jedi Survivor and you're playing Contra, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if the developers are actually thinking of an last gen, making last gen version, the least they can do is at least fix the performance issues on the
Current
current
gen.
gen. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I haven't played the game and I haven't experienced it, but from those who played it, I mean, from person to person, the experience varies. Some people say there are a little bit stutters, maybe some lags and glitches here and there, but the game is not unplayable. It's fun. I played the entire game. Some people are like, oh no, this hurts my eyes. The frames are dropping. Oh my god, it lost one frame. I lost a part of my life on this. Yeah, some people can be too critical. What can we say about that? But okay. Yeah, anyways, moving on from that news. This is something that makes me feel excited. The remake of the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion is currently in development and it will be an Xbox exclusive. The remake is being developed by a studio called Virtuous Games. Virtuous. I'll stick with Virtuous. Yeah. So, apologies for my pronunciation, but I like Virtuous. Sounds better. So Virtuous. Yes, Virtuous Games, and they have codenamed it as Project Alter. Seems like an apt name, and it will use a pairing system that will run the game on both Unreal Engine 5 and Oblivion Engine. Okay, that's a very ambitious thing. As far as I know, getting a game running on properly on one engine itself is a big task, but they're going to do it. And from what it's rumored, it seems that the graphics, the environment, and all those sort of stuff will be rendered on Unreal Engine 5, whereas the gameplay, the physics, and other stuff of the game will run on the Oblivion engine. So it'll more or less run like the old Oblivion, but it'll be more wow because of Unreal Engine 5. I mean, it all sounds good on paper, or in this case,
I think
or
basically to keep the core of the game as similar as possible, they're using the
uh,
Oblivion, but to as it's called a remake, as you have to have the latest graphics fidelity possible. I think that's why they are using Unreal Engine 5 for the graphics rendering.
mm,
I do you do you know if any other game has done this kind of sort of gaming where it uses two engines for the game,
no,
or is this going to be the first game that does that?
no. I mean, even cars only use one engine, and if they are a hybrid, they use an electric motor. So,
Right, right.
so I don't see games running two engines, man. I mean, having an Unreal Engine 5 itself is like a huge thing for some games. We're like, oh, my game runs on Unreal Engine 5. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, great. So what should I do about that? I don't know the difference. I can't spot the difference. I think I'm part of the 50%, maybe 75% of people who can't tell the difference between different
Mm.
engines. To be quite honest, the only time I actually felt a difference in engine was when I was playing in Grand Theft Auto 4. That game was a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. It's very underrated. The physics and everything for that time was just mind blowing back in 2008. And when GTA 5 came out, I felt like they scaled it down quite a lot, and I felt like, ah man, they removed some of the very interesting features from this game. I mean,
Mm.
so one of the most fun, the stuff I had most fun of is driving the car at high speed, colliding headfirst into something, and watch my character fly out of the windscreen.
Windshield.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I
I
think it's basically GTA 5 has seat belts, I suppose.
I never see them wearing seatbelts. I mean, and also it feels like the cars are sort of glued to the road. Like no matter how you turn them and all, it's like, I mean, of course, it slides here and
Magnets.
there. It slides here and there, but it's still on the road. Whereas in GTA 4, it felt like the cars actually had a lot of weight, and the suspension was bending and going up and down on either side when you do a violent turn and stuff. And I
Mm.
mean, even when you go full speed and suddenly stop the car, you can see the car wobble a little bit forward and backward, and all those little attentions to detail make that game way ahead of this time. So I mean, if they're remaking anything, they should definitely remake Grand Theft Auto 4. I'll definitely buy that. But then again, if they're going to like outsource it to some other studio like they did with the trilogy, I mean
Trilogy.
the definitive
The
edition,
Legendary Edition or
the
something.
definitive edition, yeah, the definitive
Definitive
edition.
Edition. Sorry. Yeah, yeah,
If they do something like that and ruin that one game I love from the GTA series, nah, I'm not buying it. No, thank you.
yeah.
Unless it,
But you know what they'll do? They'll do what they can, and they'll do what makes sense for them. Basically,
mhm,
oh man, milking synonym should be rockstar in dictionary, I suppose.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure the uh, cow they are using is pretty much dead by now, but they're still milking it.
Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah.
I mean, I mean, there are other studios who keep milking cows, which are still questionable if they're alive or not. But I mean, at least they stick to a franchise or something, and change it. Like for example, Assassin's Creed. I mean, Ubisoft is milking that entire series a lot by making
Yeah.
more and more new installments into the franchise. That's still milking, but I mean, it's not going to drain the cow completely out of milk, is it? Because they can always choose a different environment, different time zone, something. I mean, time period, whatever, and just put out the game, make some changes here and there. And I mean, right now they're
Yeah,
like,
they have a new game.
yeah, and I mean, right now they're going back to the roots. So that makes me think: are they going to remilk the cow again, or are doing something else? I don't know. That's
A
just
new
my
cow.
knowledge. No, that won't be a new cow. If it is a new cow, it'd be some other game franchise. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, but that is acceptable, I guess. But with Grand Theft Auto 5 and perhaps even Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, they've been milking that poor cow dry. I mean, both those games came out in the PS3 era. They came out again remastered for the PS4, and at least Elder Scrolls Skyrim stopped with the PS4, and but they did make one for the Switch. They even made a VR version. So they milked the cow differently. But Rockstar GTA 5 for PS3, PS4, PS5. And it's been well over a decade, man. Poor cow, let it live properly. I mean, how much milk can the cow give?
So, yep.
Yeah, so, anyways, regarding this Oblivion, it really sounds good on paper, but in this case, it's on my notepad on the computer. But yeah, it sounds good on the notepad, but I don't know. We'll have to wait for the game to see how it plays. Anyways, moving on. Rumors regarding Nintendo. Nintendo is
Mm.
targeting the second half of 2024 with the next gen console. They have sent the development kits to their key partners ahead of the planned launch. So I think there might be a couple of games ready for the launch of the console, I guess. And apparently they're going to keep the backward compatibility because they're going to still keep a cartridge slot on the upcoming Nintendo console. I don't know, will they
Mhm.
be calling it a Switch 2? Will they be calling it a Switch on,
Pro.
Switch Pro, Switch Plus, Switch on, Switch off? I don't know. Yeah,
Oh boy, yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe they might turn it from Switch to perhaps even Socket. Oh,
Socket.
yeah. So, my lame jokes aside, I don't know what they're gonna call it, but yeah, those of you who held off, like not buying a Nintendo Switch, but were very eager to buy one, but still have some patience and some time and want to save some money, you can wait till at least the second half of 2024, where we can get more news about the console. We don't know if it'll originally launch then, or they'll be like, hey, we're having this new console, it'll launch next year. So yeah, 2025 something. So I don't know, we have to wait and see. But regarding the Nintendo Switch, it's been quite successful. I mean, I've seen plenty of tweets where they put up these quarterly earnings and sales of consoles in
Yeah.
different countries, and more often than not, I always see Switch in the second place. And apparently, the current number of Nintendo Switches that have been sold worldwide is 129.53 million. Ooh, which
Whew.
is which is quite a big number, man. And
Indeed. Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, what I like about Nintendo players is the fact that they are not complaining about 30 FPS. They are not complaining about 720p. They're like, okay, we are getting a Switch. The games that are coming for it will run well. We'll enjoy it, and that is that. No complaining saying, oh no, this is not 60 FPS. Oh no, this is not 4K. Because they know the hardware is only that much capable, and of course, Nintendo is only going to make it run as much as the hardware will allow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing. Why can't we all be like that? Yeah, I also really want to get a Switch, but yeah, I'm not
Wait
rich.
till second half of 2024.
Yeah, I guess I should start. I should start
Start
saving.
saving. Yeah.
Yeah, I should start putting 10 rupees every day into my bank account and
Do
buy
you
it.
think by then at least Nintendo will be courteous enough to officially enter India?
I don't think so, man. I think Nintendo is pretty, set in their ways. And after
Yeah.
leaving India, I don't think they'll really might think about coming back unless they feel like, there will be a proper base here. And I don't know. I mean, they might be getting some uh, tax stuff, whatever, stuff that goes behind the scene, which gamers we don't even know about. Maybe they don't like those sort of stuff, so they're staying away. And yeah, and unrelated to this, India is banning the imports of laptops from other countries, which
That's the
is,
craziest news that we had in this week, and
yeah,
I can't stress enough. I think, I mean, the intention is good, absolutely. Make in India, the intention is good, but the execution on how to achieve that point, it's completely, I would say, chaotic and doesn't justify the measures they have taken to get to that point.
mm,
It doesn't make sense. In simple answer, it's not good. Basically, you can't have high-end laptops. You can't just build you can't just build an entire industry in one night. Can't just ban, even though the government came back and said that yeah, we'll gradually do that. Gradually in the sense, I don't know, maybe 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It needs years, at least 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, or I don't know, maybe 5 years to completely have the same level of supply demand that we have
mm,
for the current laptops market in India. So basically, I think it's not good for the pro people. But I don't think you can just call pro because everybody to have a high end or a laptop that's basically supports their everyday work. It there is no such relevant laptop in India as of now.
mhm. I mean, if you want something decent to do everyday task, you have to go somewhere near the 50 range, 50,000 rupee range. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, as far as I've seen, with at least decent internals and all, not running like something like the Intel Iris Xe and stuff. But I mean, yeah, I mean, electronics are way more expensive now these days, and getting a decent laptop below the 50K in range and all is very difficult. I mean, it was
Yeah.
quite hilarious when people are, just coming up with your own theories for this thing. Like the GeoBook is launching soon, and this ban is there. Is it a big coincidence? Is it not a coincidence? And then, of course, there are people who are knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, and they're like, how is this going to benefit them in any way? Because the GeoBook is going to be a sub 20K laptop apparently,
With
and
GOS, so that's the most
Geo,
important thing.
not no Windows, no nothing.
I know.
GeoOS. I think it's a I think it's somewhere 14 inch or something. I don't know. I haven't seen the entire specs, but I saw the price something around 16, 11 to 16 something, and GeoOS 64 GB of storage. I,
Oh
uh,
my God.
I don't know if that was right, but that's what I get. I mean,
There is no
serious.
64 GB version phone, I suppose, in high-end market right now, right?
Yeah, I
Even the
mean,
smartphones start with 124 GB right now.
128 is the base right now. I
Sorry,
mean,
128. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and Samsung is like, you know what, we are offering 512 GB. Is that not enough for you? Add in another 512 GB SSD slot, and I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I mean, high end is obviously high end and expensive and has all that. But then, if you're putting some sort of band, you should at least have the different tiers like low end, mid end, high end laptops ready in India to do so. But then again, like I said, these people are like, oh, is it not a coincidence that they're doing this because the Geo book is launching? Won't it be very beneficial for Geo? And I'm like, the Geo book itself is made in China. It has to be imported here. What's the point of banning imports if they can't bring their own Geo book here? So, I mean, sometimes people refuse to see the logic. So,
Nobody's going to buy GeoBooks for GeoOS and 64 GB of storage, man. That's just plain
hi-
simple.
highly
Oh,
doubtful. Unle-
highly doubtful that it
yeah.
even makes any profit. And yeah.
Unless, of course, the government becomes like the US government, and like some schools in the US provide iPads and tablets to their students for studying. The people just hand out free
Ah,
geo books to the
when
students.
when you say this, I remember there was a period when there used to be a tablet for 1,000 rupees. I think the government wanted to give out this kind of tablet for
Ah,
1,000 rupees for all the students. I
ah,
was, I think I was in my 10th standard. It was 2013, I suppose. Yeah,
mhm.
and it was available only for the school children, not even for the plus one, plus two.
Ah,
So I was like, oh my God, my school is about to end, and I need to get my hands on this tablet. At the time, tablets is crazy. 2013
yeah,
tablets is crazy. Yeah, so I was like, I need to get my hands on this tablet for 1,000 rupees, and I had my ID card, my everything. I went there, but nothing happened. It was just a stupid thing that didn't go on. I think if they just do something like that, it's not going to be successful for
mhm.
sure. I think they do have to provide for high end.
Yeah. I mean, like here in my state, in Tamil Nadu, the government actually offered laptops for students,
Yeah.
and I mean, those you're not going to be like, oh my God, the children are getting laptops, but nah, I'll be surprised if those things even ran for more than a year, because I'm pretty sure they found the cheapest and most lowest spec laptop possible and just gave it away. Probably from a company that was not able to make its ends meet. I don't know. Because obviously, like every good government does, they slap their party sticker on the back of the
Uh,
laptop to hide the logo. And yeah, so anyways, but in some form of good news in this is that apparently it seems that the government itself knows that this is stupid. So they're moving the ban at least till November. but I don't see what difference that is going to make because really, man, we need in India we don't necessarily have anyone manufacturing here much. I think Dell does. Not sure. I think Dell manufactures here, but still, I mean, majority of the stuff is just imported, and the spanning imports is not a good move because whether you're, I don't know what intentions or what it has for this thing, but as far as I know, it will definitely affect a lot of potential PC players because I mean, new gamers or people who are young and just want to start off. Most of them just start off on PC. I myself started off on a laptop itself, so
Yep.
I think I got my first laptop back in 2008. I guess I got it in 2008. Didn't have a graphic card. Had I don't know, maybe
But the games
three.
still run great.
Yeah, I mean games from 1999 ran very great on that. So I mean all the games which were as old as I was ran fine on that laptop, but none of the new games even bothered opening on it. So I was like, okay, never mind. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that at least I got to play games. So for gamers in general, they start off with
Yeah,
the
this is
PC.
robbing that experience for a
Yeah,
lot of
exactly.
the new and people who just want to have a laptop to for their work and
Mm,
maybe play small games. Yeah, I think
exactly. Every now and then.
they're robbing that experience.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people be the tablet. Lots of people make the argument that, oh, tablets are also very, they're more, what do you say, manageable than laptops. They're more portable. They can still play games and all that. I mean, like, they still don't have a keyboard. We need a keyboard.
Mm.
We need keyboard to play all those games, which cannot run on a laptop. So, I mean, which cannot run on a tablet. So, people still need a laptop. I mean, this is not the US where people walk around with iPads or Galaxy Tabs and an S Pen or a Apple Pencil in their hand. And no, man, we are not that rich. At least not all of us. Some of us are. And yeah, I mean, it's just not a good move because as far as I know, gamers are affected. We are Indian console gamers. We should talk for the gamers. So gamers are affected. So that is why I brought this topic up in the first place. But other than that, I think that's all we have for this week. It's been
Yeah,
very stale. Only Baldur's Gate has opened the
the
floodgates.
highlight.
Yeah, it's opened its
Yeah,
own floodgate of this thing. People are waiting for its console launch, and and I think someone requested the Game Pass game list in one of our previous episodes. They wanted the list, and well, now you have your list. I hope you're happy. So yeah, we try. I mean, I try. I nowadays it's become like a habit of mine to open Twitter in the morning and also check it in the afternoon and also evening, almost every day to see what's the latest news in games and just note it down and just make a document, send it over to Yashwant, copy all of his tweets, put that also, and then on the podcast we're like, okay, now we're ready to talk about this entire week.
talk about. Yes.
Yeah, this week has been kind of stale. Early Baldur's Gate 3 and of course the new beta update for PlayStation, which will of course take another couple of months for it to reach end users like the rest of us. But hey, at least we know what we're going to get beforehand. But the thing is, oh yeah, now only I remembered. Apparently, in software news, in the future, Xbox is going to get the option to be able to stream your games directly into your Discord. So, like for example,
Mm.
I play a game and I want my friends on the server to watch it. From my Xbox, I can just directly stream it into one of the voice channels. People can just join it, watch it, enjoy it, and yeah, I mean that's something I look forward to. I mean, I can definitely show off all the games that I'm playing on Xbox, and it can bring some server engagement as well. But at the same time, this makes me kind of you know feel the need to get the an update for Discord on PlayStation because as
Yeah.
of now, you still need a phone to transfer your voice party onto your PlayStation to talk from the console. But back in the same update came out in September last year for the Xbox, and in November They improved upon that feature by allowing us to directly join VCs on any Discord server that we are by linking our Discord account, and we can do it directly from the console without needing a phone.
Yeah.
So if any update is required, at least in my for my personal preference, that is the update that I really really want. But all I can do now is hope and wait as usual. And with that said, that is the end of our podcast for this week. So kindly like and subscribe. I also remember to say that this time. So yeah, like and subscribe. And another request is kindly watch more of our videos because we have a
Yes.
target of 4,000 hours within 365 days to reach. As of now, it's sitting at 15 hours. So if all of y'all would just sit and watch at least one episode completely, we'll reach the entire target within 24 hours, maybe even less. But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just give us a little pat on the back and show us our support by watching our videos.
Yeah, just put
Yeah,
it in the background. Just let it play.
yeah, just let it play. If possible, just take your mom's phone, your dad's phone, play it on that as well, and just continue on. More views, more this thing. So yeah, anyways. But then again, it's completely up to you guys. We just appreciate it if you do it. So, and we hope we enjoy. We really hope you enjoy the content we're putting out week after week because we are enjoying doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's the thing I look forward to most at the end of the week, especially sitting here and talking with Yeshwanth because he's a very busy man. I can't talk to him any other day of the week. I can't get in touch with him. So this 1 hour I'm spending with you guys, I also get to spend with Yashwant. So yeah, it's something I enjoy. I guess the feeling is mutual with Yashwant as well, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I mean, every day, as I have a day job, weekdays is completely filled with my day job, and right after that with family. But basically, Sunday I look forward to completely talk about the things that we love, the games, the news. It just brings us joy to talk about the things we love, and gaming is absolutely one of it. And we love to bring more and more content and more consistently as well.
Mhm.
Yes, keep looking to that, and we will as soon as possible. We will have at least to start with Dark Souls 3 stream on YouTube. Me
Hmm.
and Abdul.
Yeah, that'll be a big highlight. I mean, I'll be announcing it everywhere when I do it. So yeah, I mean, I'll put put off every appointment or thing I have on my schedule and be like, nah, don't disturb me. I'm going to play with Yashwant.
Do not disturb status.
Yes, do not disturb. I'm going to play with Yashwant. But yeah,
Thank you,
anyways,
man. Yes, I
yes,
will
that
get to that.
yeah, we will get to that point sometime in the future. So look forward to that. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. We hope you had fun just as we did. So once again, like, subscribe, watch our videos, get us those 4,000 hours so
4,000 hours.
that
Yeah.
we can be supported and we can bring more content. And we hope you all have a good week ahead. This is Abdul and Yashwan signing off. Take care.
Thank you all.
Bye, guys.